The entire chamber was lined with crimson brocade worked with flowers of gold. In a recess was kind of a divan, surmounted with a stand of Arabian swords in silver scabbards, and the handles resplendent with gems. From the ceiling hung a lamp of Venetian glass, of beautiful shape and color, while the feet rested on a Turkey carpet, in which they sunk to the instep. Tapestry hung before the door by which Franz had entered, and also in front of another door, leading into a second apartment which seemed to be brilliantly illuminated. The host gave Franz time to recover from his surprise, and, moreover, returned look for look, not even taking his eyes off him. "Sir," he said after a pause, "a thousand excuses for the precaution taken in your introduction hither. But as, during the greater portion of the year, this island is deserted, if the secret of this abode were discovered, I should, doubtless, find on my return my temporary retirement in a state of great disorder, which would be exceedingly annoying, not for the loss it occasioned me, but because I should not have the certainty I now possess of separating myself from all the rest of mankind at pleasure. Let me now endeavor to make you forget this temporary unpleasantness, and offer you what no doubt you did not expect to find here. That is to say, a tolerable supper and pretty comfortable beds." "Ma foi, my dear sir," replied Franz, "make no apologies. I have always observed that they bandage people's eyes who penetrate enchanted palaces. For instance, those of Raoul and the Huguenots. And really, I have nothing to complain of, for what I see makes me think of the wonders of the Arabian Nights." All right, there's a lot to unpack in this slight passage today. We are getting the details of this environment now. Seems like if this is Dante, whoever this is, of course it's Dante. Dante has decided on an Arabian motif for his decor, Arabian swords and silver scabbards, tapestries, Venetian glass. Well, I guess Dante has opted for an international motif for his decor. He's got Arabian swords, he's got Venetian glass, he's got Turkish carpet, he's got tapestries all over the place. Everything is beautifully illuminated. I can't imagine there's electricity on Monte Cristo, so I'm not sure how it's illuminated exactly. It seems like a lot of candles you'd have to employ in order to brilliantly illuminate something. But there's a line here I really wanted to pull out. Now, Dante is apologizing to Franz for the formalities of blindfolding him and bringing him in here, but the reason he gives was interesting to me. He's saying, because everything would be in a state of disorder. I'm not worried about losing anything. I'm not going to, trust me, I'm so rich, anything I lose in here isn't going to be of a big deal to me. But the thing I'm very protective of is that should my abode be discovered, since I'm not here most of the year, it would mean that I can't escape from the rest of society whenever I wanted to. I would lose my summer home, essentially. He said the line there is, but because I should not have the certainty I now possess of separating myself from all the rest of mankind at pleasure, saying I can retreat from mankind at will right now. If something were to go wrong out there in the world, I have a place to retreat to that no one else knows about. This is his, fallout shelter. This is his bunker where he can wait out the rocky storms of fill in the blank of literally anything that's happening in the world then or now. So that, to me, brings a sort of insight into the place Dante is, both mentally, but where his power has led him. So far that he can step in and out of society at will. And I imagine with his mastery of disguise at this point, he retreats to this place, and whoever that person was that retreated here can disappear entirely, and he can emerge a completely different person using a disguise upon exiting. I mean, the power in that alone, putting aside the immense wealth, is very crazy when you think about it. But he's also being incredibly polite to Franz and very affable, and humble, kind of, saying, well, it's kind of a double-sided humbleness, isn't it? He's very aware of the austerity that Franz is stepping into here, but also that he's saying, you're going to find here what you probably didn't expect, which is, you're an okay supper. We'll feed you fine. And, we got some pretty comfortable beds. Lastly, though, we have Franz making an Arabian Nights comment at the end of there. And now, I don't know if that is becoming an important part of Monte Cristo, or if that is just Dumas not being able to help himself inserting his love for Tales from the 1001 Arabian Nights into his books. It shows up a bit in Three Musketeers, not nearly as much as it does here. And you know what, folks? I just made a decision right here in the moment. It came to me, and I'm committing to it right here now. In a few months, the podcast network, Gruntwork Podcasts, will be doing a support month to help generate new listeners, but also to give back to the listeners who are contributing to us. I think at this point, it's probably worth reading an excerpt or two or a full story out of the Arabian Nights. I think we need a little bit of insight into what that is. So I'm going to commit to, I don't know what exactly, if it's going to be Sinbad, if it's going to be Ali Baba, the Cave of Aladdin, all that stuff. But I'll do some research, I'll find something, and I'm going to commit to recording that for a bonus episode when we get to support month. So I guess look forward to that. All right, I know I keep dangling in front of you all these juicy tidbits that I'm going to go into this chapter. So, let me give you a little agenda for what we'll cover in the coming episodes, as soon as there's less to cover in the story we're reading. I'm surprised we've gone a full year and haven't talked about Romanticism as a broad cultural movement, because Dumas is pivotal in that. Romanticism is from the late 18th century to the mid-19th century. It changed the way people think and approach stories and culture. We'll go into more detail on that. And then the thing that I've been taunting you with, this mind-blowing fact, I will leave you with a single name. And if you want to do research between today and tomorrow to get a sense of what we're going to go into, the name is Auguste Mackay. Yeah, we're gonna dive into that. So join me here tomorrow. We got lots of intrigue happening on the Countdown of Monte Cristo. Until then, okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.